Shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. To the hopeful elect, 144,000, shalom. It's the brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, as you can see, the title of this article, MasterCard launches its biometric retail payment system in Europe using Poland as a testing ground. All right, and as we know, this is just further one step closer to the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, all right, which will be in the form of an implantable micro C-hip that we believe through the faith, through prophecy, here at Great Millstone, starting with the elders and the apostles. All right. And all this technology is just, gradualism towards the MOTB, which this system will eventually be implanted. It'll be inserted inside of you. All of your biometric data, which biometric stands for life measurements, which is what? Your iris scan, your facial recognition, your palm print, your fingerprints. All right. All of your vital information about you will be eventually stored inside of a micro C-hip. All right. And this is how you will be able to buy and sell or have an identity, to travel, to have a job, to be identified in this man's futuristic beast system, which is ultimately a digital slave system. But all of these different, little technologies that they're rolling out are just gradual steps towards their end goal. All right. It says here, but with your eyes, pay with your glance. You see? Excuse me. And this is just all gradualism, and they already do this shit in China. China already has this system already operational over there in order for you to buy particular goods and services, And now they're pushing it over there in Europe. And then eventually it'll be over here in the West and in America, right? Because this is where everything is going. All right. These are just, gradual steps of convenience and how they're going to ultimately deceive you into, little by little, stop using cash and, depending more upon these digital transactional purchases, It says, after running pilot tests in Brazil and part of the Asia Pacific for roughly 2 years, MasterCard is finally rolling out its biometric retail payment system in Europe. The world's largest payment card company appears to be determined to wean consumers off not only cash, its eternal rival, but also credit and debit cards to main line of business until now. To that end, it is piloting its biometric checkout program in Poland in collaboration with local fintech company PayEye, which will be providing its iris to face biometric technology. See, everything is going digital. This is the wave of the so-called future. All right. And it's going to eventually, all of this technology and all this information that they're gathering about you will be, inserted into your micro C-hip in the future. All right. Which is the MOTB, which, we've been warning you here prophetically that you should not take this mark. All right. And if you do, you're going to be judged before the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and you're going to be nuclearly annihilated. Right. It says MasterCard's global. See, it's not just going to be over there in the EU. Like I said, eventually it's going to be here in America. This is a global agenda. It says represents a first of its kind technology framework to help establish standards for a new ways to pay, allowing cardholders to use a wide range of biometric payment authentication methods such as palm, face, or iris scan. This simplifies the checkout process in store, as consumers no longer need to use a physical payment card, cash, or a mobile device to pay for purchases. With MasterCard biometric checkout program, secure and convenient experiences are possible by simply using your biometrics. And eventually, the ultimate form of you paying biometrically is going to be with your right hand or with your forehead, man. All right. It says MasterCard is a pioneer of innovative payment methods and drives security and standardized blah, 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 blah. Okay. But let me get to the main point to this shit. All right. It says this will be the first time MasterCard has piloted a biometric checkout program in Europe. In May 2022, the company unveiled to much fanfare plans to launch a pilot biometric checkout program in the UK, but that so far appears to have come to naught. Before testing the system in UK, the company first trialed it in Brazil. It then expanded its pilot programs to the Asia Pacific region and launched its second pilot in Latin America earlier this June. And eventually it'll be here in America. And what does it say here? JP Morgan Chase joined the race, because all these institutions, all these financial institutions are joining the race. All right, because eventually they're all gonna lead you down the path of the MOTB. Look at this. It says MasterCard is not only a large financial institution testing out this still relatively nascent payment technology, the company's largest rival, after cash, of course, and fellow duopolist Visa recently showcased its pay-by-palm biometric payment technology at an event in Singapore. During the event, visitors were invited to try out the palm reader and link their signature to their payment card for a transaction. And you already see this happening in Whole Foods and in different type of stores. And eventually, this is going to be the only form of payment and only form of transaction accepted eventually, man. You see? It says the future of biometric payment is promising and is set to revolutionize the retail experience, said Kunal Chatterjee, head of innovation at Visa Asia Pacific. But it may take time for the technology to reach critical mass. Various factors, he said, influence the level of acceptance of biometric payments, including regulation, technology, and consumer priorities, which can vary from country to country. Which eventually ain't none of that shit is going to matter, because, like I always say, eventually they're going to make this is going to be the only way you're going to be able to buy or sell. Pretty soon, this is going to be the only way you're going to be able to start being able to pay your rent or pay for your car registration or do anything in the private or public sector. Is you're going to have to eventually merge with this technology, whether you want to accept it, whether you understand it, whether you want it or not. You see, they're just gradually, slowly weaning you off of cash, weaning you off of physical transactions to this digital form, to where eventually you can just walk into a store and you don't have to do anything. You can just put your items in a basket, and as you're shopping and doing whatever, you're going to be scanned, and your micro C-hip will be scanned while you're doing all your business and transactions, and you can just conveniently go in and go out. You see? But it's going to come with way more of a, control from the top than just that. It's not going to be just that simple. A lot of your ability to do these things are going to be, dependent upon, your social credit score, how much carbon you use, how much beef you ate, how much, how far you travel. They're going to start putting restrictions and starting to tell you that, look, certain things for you to just freely do are going to be restricted. It's going to be based upon, certain factors that the government controls, which is going to make you a complete slave to it in the future. All right. Let me see. It says biometrics have already seeped into many other aspects of everyday life, including travel and communication, you see. And eventually you're going to need all of these. You're going to have to be linked with this technology. You're going to have to bow down and accept it in order to function in your everyday life. That's why they're gradually introducing it into the way in your everyday life, till eventually this is going to be your only way of life. It's being entrapped inside of this digital beast system that this damn devil is implementing. It says, including travel and communication. Many national passports these days include biometric data. Hundreds of millions of perhaps even billions of people use a biometric authentication factor, such as a fingerprint or face scan, to unlock their smartphones and other digital devices. Soon, biometric identifiers may even be necessary to log on to social media platforms. Yeah, and that's how it's going to be. And guess what? And in this beast system, if you don't have the proper social credit score, if you've been a naughty citizen, if you've been, acting out, not taking your vaccines, not doing what the government is controlling or commanding you to do, your ability to get on the internet can be restricted. Your ability to buy and sell and travel and have access to communications in the private and public sector can be restricted from you, man. You see, it's all a digital slave system that they're slowly introducing everybody to. And it's going to have to come a point in period where, those of us who are of the household of faith are just going to have to just say no and, not consent anymore and have our faith truly and completely in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for the, for water, for food, and to be able to survive. It says, in other words, people are already giving away their most private data to work, communicate, cross borders, or get on planes. Will they do the same to speed up their shopping experience? Yeah, they will. Because why? Like I said, this is going to be the only. Let me just get it out, man. All right, because this is where everything is going. Revelations 13-16, and he calls it all. I see. That's why this thing is a global thing. It's not just something that's happening in Brazil or in China or in Asia. Eventually, it's going to be globally. All right, it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And this is talking about every single person on this planet Earth, man. All right, that's why it says it's going to cause all. Let's look up this word, causeth. And the word is poieo. It says with the to make, with the names of things made, to produce, to construct, to be the authors of. Let me see. To put one forth, to lead him out, to make one do something. Yeah, see? To carry out, to execute, to make ready, and so at the same time to institute. You see? And this is what he's ultimately going to do. Like I said, this is going to be the only system that he's going to offer you people in order to survive, to be identified, to travel, to communicate, to have internet access, to get food and water, to have an apartment, to have electricity, to take a bath. Everything about your everyday life is going to be surrounded around whether you're going to take this mark or not. All right? It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And that mark, as we always go into, is that word charagma, which is the micro C-hip, which all this technology, all this biometric, all of this facial recognition technology is going to eventually culminate into this MOTB. It says, in that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. And right now they're showing you, these different companies like MasterCard and Chase and these different banking institutions, these financial sectors are now entering you into this type of form of technology to where if you don't have this type of technology or these MasterCards or this biometric, just like I said in China, if you go to China and if you don't get down with that biometric system where you look into the camera and show your face and they can recognize you, you can't just go into a store and just buy anything, because the way that you buy shit is by showing your biometrics, by looking in your camera or looking in the little kiosk thing and showing your face so that you can be properly identified to be who you are. Otherwise, you can't buy a goddamn thing. And this is exactly what they're showing you. It says, smartphone and other digital devices. Soon, biometric identifiers may even be necessary to log on to social media. In other words, people are giving away their most private data to work, communicate, cross-border, or get on planes. Will they do the same to speed up their shopping experience? And they absolutely will, because the majority of these people have faith and trust in this beast system. A lot of these especially our people, these Jakes, they don't have trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to that level. You see, and that's why the scriptures say we're going to have to eventually lose our lives in order to save our lives for Yahushua. But a lot of our people are going to lose their lives because they're going to try to save their lives by bowing down to this, to this beast system and receiving his image, worshiping his image and receiving his mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is this MOTB system. It says, it is far from clear. As we reported last year, a push back against biometric surveillance and control systems have been gathering momentum on both sides of the North Atlantic, particularly the western one. In the U.S., a small but growing handful of cities, including New York, have passed biometric laws. Likewise, a growing number of states have followed Illinois' lead in passing laws that expressly govern the processing of biometric data. And this is why they're bringing in all these fucking migrants, because eventually they're going to have to say, in order for us to get these migrants under control, we're going to set up a digital identification database so everybody can be identified, so we don't have to be in question and wonder or second guess who's a citizen and who is not. And they might even offer these damn illegals and these migrant citizenship if they bow down to this beast system and allow themselves to receive a charagma and to, put all their biometrics and their identity on the grid so that they can be tracked and traced and, be a part of this so-called system. All right. What else? And when they say, yeah, MasterCard biometric program claims offer several benefits, including increased speed, convenience, and better hygiene, blah, blah, blah. But the main point being is that, this is what they're going to do to everybody. This is the system that we're entering into, and they're going to push it as convenience. Remember, like I've been saying for the past few videos, look, everything that Esau is presenting unto you, it's weaponized. It's a weaponized. He's waging war on you, man. But he's offering it as convenience, as a way to save humanity, as a way to make your life easier, to make things better. But it's going to come at one hell of a cost: your enslavement, man. And that's why you can't be deceived, man. That's why you can't trust this devil under any circumstances whatsoever. All right. But look at this, though. I'm going to play this video and then I'm going to close this lesson out. Don't want to make this too long, but what they're showing you in this video is what's already being done in China. All right. But they're going to bring it to the UK and eventually they're going to bring it here to the West. So check this out. It's like a 2-minute clip.
So you can forget the clunkiness of taking your wallet out or your devices out or cards out. So biometrics actually help secure that entire problem area, which has been the reason for many breaches and hacks. And with
biometrics is a way that they could, know who you are and keep track of every single thing that you're doing. Because, if they have all your biometrics linked directly to you, nobody can, nobody can pop up and use somebody else's face to get access to your information. It's going to have to be you, and you're going to be identified by these different markers, whether it's your smile, your face, your fingerprint, and nobody can duplicate that. So it's just a way for them to have complete and total tabs on every single person. They're going to know exactly who's trying to log on to the internet, who's trying to board this train, who's trying to buy this particular product, because you're going to have to be there in real time. It's not this bullshit that he's saying, oh, it's cool and we can, do all this bullshit. No, it's for they can know each and every individual, in real time.
With biometrics, the experience is also very cool and very simple.
The first thing to understand about biometric data is its sheer uniqueness. Unlike, things like phone numbers or email addresses, but our biometric identifiers are unique to ourselves and very difficult, if not almost impossible, to change. If they are being stolen as part of a data breach, or if they are compromised in any other way, it's very difficult to recover.
You see how it showed that card payment only? Hey, in the future, it's going to be biometric payment only. You're going to have your C-Ragamuffin payment only. All right? And this is how they're going to trap everybody into this beast system, And if you don't comply, then guess what? You're going to be separated. You're going to be killed. They're going to have power to kill you or separate you from the system to where you can't buy or sell, do anything unless you come crawling and groveling and worship them, take their mark and worship their image and be their fucking digital slave on the grid where you can, where you will eat the bugs and own nothing and be happy, man.
That biometric identifier and to safely protect it again.
See, South China Morning Post, you see? And that shit's coming here, I don't have to say too much more. I think the point was being made, but hey, we see where this technology is eventually going and where it's heading, man. And we know it's going to come a point to where, hey, if as long as they're, asking us to use our facial, use a picture of us, use our our face, use our thumbprint or whatever in order to buy and sell. Hey, we're gonna be able to use it, but until they start telling you, you gotta subdermally implant this micro C-hip inside of you in order for you to, continue to use this technology. Hey, that's when we gotta gracefully bow out and deny and hey, tell this man kiss our ass, and we're gonna roll in the spirit and trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified, and shalom.